We've been lucky enough to see countless remarkable archaeological discoveries over the past century, but there are still plenty of reasons to believe the greatest ones are yet to come. After all, archaeologists and even ordinary people make astonishing archaeological finds almost every day, and the most impressive of their recent finds are all right here in this video. Let's start off with number 15. Tower of Babel Tablet. The story of the Tower of Babel is one of the Bible's most debated legends. Scholars still can't agree on whether it actually existed or not, let alone what it meant symbolically. But in 2021, supporters of its historical reality got a major boost when a cuneiform tablet surfaced bearing what might be the first image of the tower. The tablet's origin is murky. It recently emerged from a private collection where it had sat for generations. However, its age is verifiable, roughly 2,600 years old. Its inscription reads, plainly and directly, the temple tower to the city of Babylon. Next to the words is a carved image of King Nebuchadnezzar II. While its exact find spot remains unconfirmed, the translation is beyond dispute. If the tablet is genuine, it offers rare physical evidence that the Tower of Babel wasn't just a myth. Still, some experts caution that it may refer to a known ziggurat structure and not the legendary tower itself. Either way, the debate surrounding this artifact is far from over. What do you think about it? Is it very real? Number 14. Oldest Homo erectus tools. Our knowledge of early human life on Earth is still full of gaps. We don't even have a definitive answer for when our ancestors began crafting tools. Each new discovery tends to move that timeline further back. One such case came to light in July 2021 during a dig near Casablanca, Morocco. Archaeologists uncovered a tool site believed to have been used by Homo erectus 1.3 million years ago. The tools found here, mostly Stone Age hand axes, now hold the title of the oldest known in the world. The site was located during the excavation of a quarry, and the tools represent the earliest evidence of tool-making and early hominid presence in Morocco. While Homo erectus is the likely maker, it's possible another, previously unknown species was responsible. The find not only pushes our timeline further into the past, it also reminds us how limited our understanding still is. For all our modern advances, we still barely grasp how our story even began. Number 13. Golden Garnet Sword Pyramid. A golden garnet sword pyramid was uncovered in Breckland in 2021. Although it was found in England, experts believe the artifact likely originated in India or Sri Lanka and was produced during the 6th or 7th century. Vibrant and ornamental, it's thought the piece slipped from a nobleman's possession while riding across the countryside. If that's true, it would have been an especially frustrating loss. Sword pyramids were designed in matched pairs. Archaeologists compare it to losing one side of an expensive earring set. At the time of its loss, Norfolk was part of the East Anglian Kingdom. The presence of imported craftsmanship implies that East Anglia maintained overseas trade routes, something previously unconfirmed. Sword pyramids functioned to connect the sword to its scabbard, but ironically made it more difficult to draw. That might have been deliberate. Some historians speculate that it served as a deterrent, forcing the wearer to think twice before pulling their weapon in anger and possibly committing an act they'd later regret. Number 12. The Golden Earring of Tel Megiddo. Well, anyone who's ever lost an earring knows the annoyance, but losing this one would be unforgivable. In 2010, archaeologists at Tel Megiddo in Israel uncovered a clay vessel filled with gold and silver jewelry, dating back roughly 3,100 years. Among them was an elaborate gold earring etched with wild goat motifs. If it ever had a matching piece, it wasn't found, and no similar design has ever surfaced in the region. Scholars believe the entire hoard might have originated from Egypt, though even if that's accurate, the earring remains an oddity. The collection is thought to have belonged to a Canaanite woman of high status, though details beyond that remain uncertain. One thing is clear: the items were carefully buried, likely hidden with the intent of recovery. Whether their owner fled, perished, or simply never returned is unknown. But for centuries, that earring lay untouched, waiting for someone to rediscover it. Number 11. Polynesian tool cache on Norfolk Island. Norfolk Island, now an Australian territory in the South Pacific, was once occupied by Polynesians, and in November 2022, archaeologists uncovered a striking reminder of that past. While participating in a scheduled excavation, researchers from the Australian Museum unearthed hundreds of stone flakes and 2 basalt axes, all clearly of Polynesian origin. Dating artifacts made of stone isn't an exact science, but specialists believe this tool cache dates to somewhere between the 13th and 15th centuries, predating European contact. The tool's presence this far from known settlements has led experts to suspect that there was once a separate, now-lost settlement in the area. So far, no remains of houses or graves have been found, just tools. That's significant, since the only other confirmed Polynesian settlement on Norfolk Island lies far from this new find. It's unlikely someone from that settlement would leave behind so many tools so far from home, meaning these weren't leftovers, they were in use. This could be evidence of a second forgotten outpost that's yet to be fully uncovered. Number 10. Byzantine wine press and lantern. We have been making wine since the first grapes were crushed, and in 2013, archaeologists in Jerusalem uncovered a 1500-year-old wine press paired with a unique Christian lantern. Found near the ancient ruins of a settlement close to Ashkelon, the discovery stood out immediately. The lantern, marked with Christian crosses, would have projected glowing symbols on nearby walls when lit, proof of a proud, publicly declared faith. Such religious iconography is rare for its period, making this piece especially meaningful. The wine press beside it is equally intriguing, not just for its preservation, but for its scale. It's far too large for personal use, suggesting the owner produced wine commercially. At the time, Jerusalem's wine was traded throughout Europe, the Mediterranean, and even parts of North Africa, making such equipment essential for large-scale export. This mix of faith and function, religious symbolism beside proof of bustling commerce, offers a vivid glimpse into life during the Byzantine era in the heart of ancient Israel. Number 9. Bezoar stones turned jewelry. Jewelry made from hardened stomach growths might sound off-putting now, but centuries ago, bezoars were both prized and fashionable. These organic masses form around indigestible material inside the digestive systems of animals, and sometimes even humans. They resemble dark, rough pearls and were once believed to hold protective and magical properties. By the 16th century, they'd become status symbols. Some were worn as pendants or set in elaborate rings, while others were ground into powder and swallowed, supposedly to cure poisoning or fend off illness. The most sought-after examples came from goats, deer, porcupines, and llamas. Historians trace the origin of Bezoar collection back to ancient Persia or Arabia, with the trend reaching Europe about 500 years later. Queen Elizabeth I famously had one embedded in her favorite ring. But by the early 1800s, the charm faded, partly because people became uneasy about where they came from. Today they're seen more as historical curiosities than jewelry. Number 8. World Sips oldest coin mint. Back in 2021, archaeologists revealed the discovery of the world's oldest known coin mint, located within a foundry at Guangzhou, China. The site is believed to be about 2,800 years old. Supporting the theory that it served as a mint, researchers also found metal coins shaped like spades, a common form of early Chinese currency. The foundry may actually predate the minting process by up to 2 centuries, likely beginning as a workshop for other metal goods before shifting focus to currency production. That transition would have made the region particularly prosperous at the time. However, the facility was eventually deserted roughly 2,400 years ago after several centuries of use. Remains of fortified walls and ditches have been spotted in the surrounding area, suggesting the location was once a regional stronghold of the ancient state of Zheng. While archaeologists haven't officially confirmed the site's full political role, all signs indicate this was a significant economic and manufacturing center in early Chinese history. Number 7. The Pictish stone alphabet slab. There are only a few solid facts about the Picts, the ancient people who lived in Scotland over 1,500 years ago. The first is that they painted their faces for war, which is how they got their name, courtesy of the Romans, who both feared and looked down on them. The second is that they were skilled stone carvers, especially when it came to erecting symbolic monuments. Pictish stones, though not rare in Scotland, are rarely as complete as the one unearthed in November 2022 near Doune in Perthshire. This particular slab features animal engravings and what might be the full alphabet used by the Picts, called Ogham. No complete example of the Pictish version of Ogham has ever been recovered before, and most of the script still hasn't been translated. If the researchers are correct, this single artifact may finally unlock a language that's remained hidden for centuries and help decode what the Picts truly believed, wrote, or recorded. Number 6. The mystery of the clay body part offerings. Italy is home to one of archaeology's most bizarre, unresolved mysteries, and researchers are no closer to cracking it than they were 2 centuries ago when the pattern first emerged. Scattered across the country, especially along the western coast, are thousands of terracotta effigies of human body parts. No one knows who made them or why. The leading theory suggests they were votive offerings left at sacred sites by people hoping for divine help with illnesses or injuries connected to the represented body part. But other interpretations exist. A foot, for instance, might symbolize an upcoming journey. An ear could be a wish to be heard. But when it comes to intestines or genitals, meaning gets harder to pin down. These clay figures date from the 4th century BCE to the 1st century CE, with some found alone and others in clusters numbering in the thousands. Without inscriptions, their purpose remains speculation. To this day, many archaeologists still consider them one of the strangest archaeological trends. Number 5. Trove of Roman weapons. In 2021, a stockpile of Roman-era weapons was found at the Son Catler prehistoric settlement, Spain. The fortification had long been known to archaeologists, but the weapons had somehow escaped detection until recently. Historical records show that Son Catler was overtaken by Roman forces around 123 BCE, suggesting the weapons date from that conflict. Items retrieved from the site include arrowheads, blades, and metal projectiles. A few everyday tools were also uncovered, like bronze spatulas and surgical instruments. The weapons were located near the site's main gateway, which served as its central line of defense. That detail supports the theory that they were left there purposefully. Roman soldiers were deeply superstitious, often burying weapons near entryways as offerings to Janus, the Roman god of doors, passageways, beginnings, and endings. They believed doing so would imbue the gate with protective energy. This discovery adds fresh depth to our understanding of how Roman soldiers approached warfare and ritual. Number 4. Viking wooden bowl, found by 10-year-old. In October 2022, 10-year-old Erik Brisker was out rowing with his father on Norway's Glomma River when something caught his eye in the sand. His father humored the detour, and it turned out Erik had just spotted a 1000-year-old wooden Viking bowl. Archaeologists were stunned. While a few Viking bowls have been found before, they're usually in fragments. This one was fully intact. Experts from the Inland County Council said the bowl was likely carved from burlwood or a thick tree knot that had been hollowed out. Its survival is thanks to the sand, which preserved it for a millennium. The craftsmanship is simple, indicating it likely belonged to an average Viking rather than someone elite. That's part of what makes it so rare. Everyday items from common folk are much harder to find than those of the wealthy, who were buried with more care. Erik's discovery gives researchers a rare window into daily Viking life, something that's usually lost to time, erosion, or simply thrown away and forgotten. It's just amazing. Number 3. Aeneas intaglio. At the Getty Museum in Los Angeles sits a minuscule but remarkable artifact, a Roman intaglio etched with a scene of Aeneas fleeing Troy. The story of Aeneas is central to Roman mythology. He escapes the burning city, finds his way to Latium, marries into the local royal line, and becomes the ancestor of Romulus and Remus. Despite the stone's size just under an inch, its detail is extraordinary. Crafted nearly 2,000 years ago, it displays depth and expression without modern tools. The artist even managed to give the image a three-dimensional quality. Experts believe the intaglio was once part of a signet ring used to seal letters or documents by pressing it into hot wax. Though many depictions of Aeneas exist in frescoes and sculpture, this is likely the most intricate on such a tiny scale. It's a technical marvel, one that captures a defining myth of Roman identity in an object no larger than a fingernail, but with a legacy that spans empires. Number 2. Silver coin of William the Conqueror. In July 2021, a silver penny dating from the era of William the Conqueror was found at Richmond Castle in Yorkshire, England. The coin was discovered by local resident Jenny Reed Young during her first ever archaeological dig, an event coinciding with Richmond's 950th anniversary celebration. Despite being heavily worn, the coin still shows a visible imprint of the iconic monarch. William the Conqueror ruled in the 11th century, but the trench being excavated was thought to date no earlier than the 14th century. This made the find a complete surprise for the experts involved. There's hope that the coin can be cleaned enough to make out the full inscription around its edges. If legible, it might reveal where the coin was minted. Should it turn out to have been struck locally, it could even be as old as Richmond itself. It's a reminder that sometimes even newcomers make discoveries that professionals wait their whole careers for. Number 1. The oldest copper awl in the Middle East. In 2014, a remarkably tiny copper awl was unearthed at the site of Tel Megiddo in Israel, and its significance is far larger than its size suggests. This modest artifact isn't just the oldest metal object ever found in Israel, it's the oldest across the entire Middle East, dating back over 7,000 years. Although it now appears green due to centuries of corrosion, underneath, the original metal was a vibrant red. More surprisingly, metallurgical tests revealed that the copper came from the Caucasus, nearly 1,000 miles away. This not only proves that metal casting arrived in the region far earlier than once thought, but it also confirms the existence of long-distance trade networks at the time. Whoever owned the awl was using cutting-edge materials well ahead of their neighbors, likely trading for tools or status. For an object no bigger than a pen, its implications stretch across centuries, marking a technological leap and a reminder that even the smallest discoveries can rewrite ancient history. If you've enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you soon in the next one.